The 2026 Porsche Panamera in black over black. This year we get updates to the technology. You have a ton of standalone packages. You have over 17 exterior colors you can configure. In the interior, you can go crazy with different designs and different materials. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and we're gonna see if this is the perfect balance for a performance variant and luxury all-in-one price tag. Starting in the front with the 4-point LED headlights in daytime running, 5 inches of clearance or 132 millimeters. The lower is going to be all opened up. Last year they did a whole update for this, for the wing, for better aerodynamics, and depending on the trims, this will also change with an active grille shutter on the lower. Now, with an MSRP that's over $122,000, does it unlock enough performance? Well, what's else underneath the hood? 2.9 liter V6 twin turbo producing 348 horsepower with 368 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, reaching 60 at 5 seconds. With the Sport Chrono package, 4.8 seconds, quarter mile at 13.7 seconds with the top speed at 169 miles per hour, achieving 18 mpgs for the city, 25 mpgs for the highway. Adding the Chrono package is going to drop you about 0.2 seconds on a 0 to 60. So it's not a huge difference when you're going into the base trim. And when you start adding a lot of the features that we've ticked on this, you can start going into the 4E hybrid trim or the 4S E hybrid trim. The beauty about this though is it's at a lower $100,000 price point, and you're still getting a Porsche with these upgraded 21-inch 911 turbo design wheels with a 6-piston behind that brake caliper. The disc reading is at 14.3 inches. That's 360 millimeters there. The rear is going to be at 13 inches at 330 millimeters. And considering the suspension, all the updates that we got last year, it's starting to look like it ticks the box to that daily performance and the luxury all blended in. Adaptive 2-chamber air suspension with height adjustment, Porsche Active Suspension Management or the PASM, the electronically controlled damping systems with the 2-valve dampers and 3 manual selectable control maps. The suspension has a aluminum double wishbone front axle with a aluminum multi-link suspension for the rear with Porsche Stability Management or PSM. And I'm sure in the comments people are going to say, well, it's a 5-second 0 to 60 and it's a 6-figure vehicle, it needs to be a lot faster. Well, nowadays this is kind of standard when you're going into base trims. Even if you start looking at exotic vehicles, you're really only getting about 4.6, 4.7 seconds 0 to 60, and you're spending just about the same amount of money as this. LED taillights with the Porsche badging. The rear wing will lift up automatically once you go over a certain speed. You could do it manually, so it looks a little bit more faster than the vehicle is. The lower gets the rear parking sensors, and because we have the premium package, that's going to add the 360-degree reverse camera. Dual exhaust that's exposed, and this is going to have the matte black. I wish this had a diffuser, even though this is the base trim. It would just make it look a little bit more dynamic in the rear. This is definitely a step up from the executive level, adding the luxury in the interior, adding the performance and the styling all blended in. But do you think this is a home run? Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe and the like, because all these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more performance vehicles to the channel. 348 horsepower, 368 pound-feet of torque. Is this enough of a sport and luxury all blended in one package is what we are trying to answer. And from the exterior, I think it did a great job. The interior, there is some cons obviously with the harder aesthetics, and you have to pay for a lot of different options, which this particular example has over $22,000 of features, and there's not a lot of features added. For the drive, it's pretty comfortable for the most part, especially when you're in normal. When you change the driving mode into sport, which we are in, or sport plus I should say, you will feel a lot more of the imperfections. So it does lower the suspension and it alters it so it gets a little bit more aggressive also. So whenever you're taking bends on the road, it's not a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, but they polish that off with the rear axle steering, which also helps for tighter positions for parking purposes and things of that nature, because it's a longer vehicle. It feels wide, The steering itself doesn't have a lot of feedback, so there's a little bit of a disconnect when you're on the road. That's the only disadvantage right off the bat at this price point. Over 5 inches of clearance, so it's definitely something that you could daily. And a 4.8 to 5 seconds, depending on the chrono package or not, I think it's a pretty darn decent amount of speed. Especially considering the speed limits in Florida. They keep lowering the darn things. They're putting lights everywhere. So for performance purposes, I think it definitely ticks the box. When you are in Sport or Sport Plus, the RPM is going to stay engaged at a higher rev. So the is going to be working a little bit more strong, so that way you can get those quicker 0 to 60s. The only con that comes into play with that is the fact that you can't use it all the time unless you're actually racing the car. Show you the lag. Not really a lot of lag, but it doesn't feel very athletic. In sport mode though, you can feel the torque a little bit more instant opposed to the normal mode. Road noise does filter in quite a bit, and a lot of that is because of the upgraded wheels. And even with the base, it's a staggered wheel setup, so it's not going to be a huge difference, but that could have been cleaned up just a touch considering we're over $122,000. Not a huge fan of all the screen configurations. This is definitely a TV on wheels. But the safety is by far awesome, considering you're in a Porsche. As for performance, so now that you saw the performance, does it unlock everything that you're needing for the daily performance and luxury? I think it does. Just because you have to add a lot of features, that is something that would make me consider test driving a couple different trims, but the overall value that you're getting, it's hard to disagree that Porsche doesn't give you an exceptional vehicle. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.